That is the sound of a MacBook Pro overheating. My name is Werner Buchert, and this is Finding Frequency. What is day today? Really, I need to keep track. It's Wednesday, and Wednesday is usually my busiest days, and today is no different. I am about 30 minutes away from a virtual event with an interesting client, and I always feel nervous just before this because the thing with virtual events and when you do a digital event is that it's like so many things can go wrong. And I guess it's the same is true for a real event too, you know, like lightning, thunderstorms, anything crazy can happen, and virtual is the same. I lost a presenter the other day because she kicked out her internet connection. Great. So, just before a presentation, and what a day it was. I had a meeting with a new client today. We'll see how that plays out. Also quite interesting. And work is just getting more. And I feel super grateful for the fact that that is there. Also, on the other side of this door, as a young lady, I also refer to her as my wifey from time to time, and definitely also hard at work, busy. And I can also hear, we have the cleaning lady here today, so you can probably hear the humming at the back, which is also a blessing because between the two consultants in this house, things get a bit crazy. And so Marta is doing relatively well, just machining away on this project that she's doing, and I'm really tipping my hat for her. Like, she is outshining herself, but I think she's not cutting herself enough slack to say, listen, I am doing well, I'm moving forward at stuff. And I think that's important, is to just sometimes stop and say, okay, cool, I survived this. And like I mentioned in some of my episodes before, is that leaning in. Like sometimes you just have to tilt things and go with where the puzzle pieces fall, I guess. So you probably hear that I'm rambling again. I tend to ramble a little bit because I have all these things going on in my mind, and I am a bit concerned because I wonder if Marta and I aren't going a little bit over the top with this. And like I mentioned to another client of mine before, is that with us all starting to work virtually and globally, that's the other thing, is that time zones are starting to really blur, and it's really tough to have a balance, because the one client that I'm working with is also located in the Palo Alto side of the United States, so the PDT time zone. I don't even know how I know about these things these days, but so when it's late afternoon for me, it's really early morning. So I had a phone call with her today around 3 o'clock, I think, if I remember correctly, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning. She was sitting there yawning. Nothing wrong with that, but she also had a very late night because she's working with European clients. So I think in that way, some of us who work with these funny time zones, we're going to have to try and figure out how we're not going to kill ourselves, because it's not sustainable. What I've started doing is to try and draw the line in the sand. Say, okay, cool, I need to get to bed earlier so that I can start my day in a proper way. And it seems to be working better, because you need to sleep to be awake and alive and your mind on the roll. But definitely fatigue is setting in, and I think it's the story for the day. Also, talking about myself and being very selfish, I have to also mention that I'm not feeling too happy about my wifey working next door, because today is actually a day where all the females or people who support the cause, our heroes who are out in the streets fighting for freedom of choice, there is a strike today. All the women in Poland went on strike as of 12 o'clock today, if I remember correctly, really to fight against this whole thing that the government's trying to sneak through the higher courts around the right to choose, the freedom to have an abortion if you need it. And I've been in one or two sessions a day where I've met with Polish ladies, and I can see that there's anger, there's distrust, there's really disappointment for a lot of them that the government is trying to push this through. And yeah, I can see that even for Martha, this really touches, it sits close at home, if I may say this. And I think I understand that, and I encourage them to continue doing what they need to do. It's not a great situation to be in, but I am inspired by the way that these ladies are standing up, even though they're getting all kinds of idiotic bad publicity because of stupid little things. Let me not dive into that, but hopefully they will make the impact that they dreaming or require. So I'm sure to be updating you a little bit more on that, because it's really something to keep track of. Anyway, I am running out of steam a little bit, and I still have a whole couple of meetings going on until late tonight, breaking my whole new cycle of trying to get to bed earlier for the brain. So sending tons of love out to my Polish female counterparts here in Poland, and tons of love out to you as well. And thanks for listening. Ciao.